Well, there we have it, the last four to advance to the semi-finals of the World Cup. That's France, Spain, England and Argentina. On Saturday, England secured a 2-1 extra-time victory over Norway in sweltering Miami with two very crucial goals from Jude Bellingham. The Three Lions will now face Argentina, who also sealed their place in the semi-finals after a nail-biting 3-1 win over Switzerland in Kansas. Well, to unpack all the action from last night and to get a little preview for what's to come, I'm joined on set by sports journalist Robbie Nock. Robbie, good to have you on set with us
Lovely
today.
To be here.
So we'll talk about all the matches, but let's begin with England versus Norway. Let's hear your thoughts first, your first impressions, because the Vikings really didn't make it easy for England, did they?
I like this Norwegian team. I think that what they've brought, great support. I think that their traditions and their culture, and they're coming into this World Cup, thinking we've got nothing to lose. Let's just go and fight. Pure Viking spirit, led by, of course, Haaland, who's been fantastic. And I think that just because they don't have too much pressure on their shoulders, they've just really played football and tried to play their game. They know that they've got this giant 6'5" centre forward who's capable of scoring goals, who understands and reads that final third on the pitch and how to score. And I think that they do have strong defenders, and it's been brilliant to actually see them and to have them at this FIFA World Cup, because they've brought lots of intrigue with them. They've gained lots of credit and reputation in the way that they've actually played, and they put up an almighty fight against this England team last night.
They put up an excellent fight. They really had a historic run, didn't they, Norway? Let's talk about that Thomas Tuchel interview after the match, because he said, so Thomas Tuchel, that's the coach of the England team, he said the England team was sloppy, they made a lot of technical mistakes, they were not fast enough, and they got lucky. Jude Bellingham hit back after that in an interview that he did with the pressers. But what is your take on Tuchel's comment? Because he's not entirely wrong, is he? I mean, in terms of defence and attack, I mean, there's a lot of room for improvement for England to actually make it to the finals.
That there are certain players that I think would probably help their cause and solidify the defence. I think Reece James, missing him, he's such a quality defender, capable of really, getting everybody into a solid block. And I think that, they sometimes go on streaks of where you see electricity and you see the synergy and you see the connection and the play, and they come together. There are other times when I think that, they're just not getting together, not making the right pass, and, they can be accused of being a little bit sloppy. I think that there's been so many changes and adjustments more so from Tuchel in the way that he's had to try and put together. Besides the front line, has been very strong. It's been very effective with Kane and of course Bellingham, who's scoring goals a go-go, which is fabulous, and he's a wonderful player. But I think it's just that midfield defence, unity. They've been a little bit sloppy. So he's right to say that, but he's also playing the mind games, because when you do have an interview like that, the opponents in the semi-finals will be looking and going, okay, well, he doesn't believe that they're good, so they'll start looking at that. So they do play these kind of, mind games as well, the coaches, and the way that they do react.
Yeah,
so he's not going to... Exactly, it is going to be strategy. I don't think that he's 100% happy with the way everything's going, and he knows that there's improvements to be made.
Yeah, and I'm sure a part of it is a little bit of tough love as well.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Argentina-Switzerland match. I didn't stay up to watch it. It was 3 a.m. Paris time. But they struggled a bit too, didn't they? So Alvarez and Martinez scored in extra time after the Argentina team being on the ropes a little bit for most of the match. Do you think that Argentina as a team have displayed sufficient quality to make it to the finals and even win the World Cup? And what do you say to critics of Argentina who say that maybe they have had a bit of an easier route to the position that they're in now?
I mean, an easier route. Egypt, Cabo Verde, I think that they've come up against, a couple of wonderful African nations, and I know African football extremely well. And I can tell you that I'm very proud of those nations who put up wonderful fights against, the world champions. They might not have been able to, shown us exactly what they're capable. I don't think that they've played their A game just yet. I think that they may have, had that kind of easier passageway through to the semi-finals. Now they'll get their chance to try and perform at their best. They'll have to. I think that the game against Switzerland was an interesting one because Switzerland, again, just like Norway, they go into these matches thinking, well, we've got nothing to lose. We're pushing. We're trying to go as far as we possibly can in the competition. It's a quarter-final matchup, and before they lost Mbolo to the second yellow card, they were in control. As soon as they scored that equaliser through Ndoye. So I think that they had everything in their hands to try and go through and actually win that game. But of course, playing 10 against 11 these days, one player who has to cover two spaces, two parts of the pitch, I think makes life very complicated these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they've, set up for a blockbuster semi-final, England-Argentina. We're talking decades of rivalry. We can't forget that the Hand of God incident in the 1986 quarterfinals in Mexico. We can't forget the match that David Beckham will never forget in 1998 as well.
That's true in Saint-Etienne. And of course, the man of the Dios of Maradona. I think that this is going to be fantastic. And it's great to see Messi coming up against England, potentially in his last World Cup. I think that everybody knows that it's going to be his last World Cup. So he's coming up against England in one of those wonderful rematches that we actually see between Argentina and England, and that's going to be fire. It's going to be off the charts. I think that it's going to be super exciting. I think that we've got great players right across the line. Argentina showing that they've got quality. Messi will bring his A game. You've got McAllister and you've got all of these Martinez, and they'll be up for this. And the whole of Argentina will be vying to try and beat England. England will be wanting to get into their first final since
Robbie,
1966.
I'm just going to cut you in because we're running out of time, and I really want to ask you about France and Spain, because what a match that is to look forward to. I mean, incredible team, both of them. I believe that Spain has only conceded one goal in the entire tournament, but France is arguably one of the favourites, if not the favourite in the tournament.
Yeah, I think France are most definitely, flying the flag as being the team who to beat. The likes of Elise, Mbappe, and Dembele, etc. The list is extremely long. Wonderful technicians, very tactical games, very interesting, very exciting football. They come up against a team who, just clamp it down. They lock down their defence and they don't concede. But have they got that X factor? That's where Spain can try and sort of, find a player who can unlock that defence and maybe go on and score goals like Mbappe. But France will not want to lose that one. And who knows? It might be a rematch, of the final in 2022 in Qatar between France and Argentina.
If two such strong teams go up against each other in a match like the semi-finals, what do they have to do tactically to make it to the finals?
Finals are, those kind of games are really, it's on that moment. It's how you actually, it's a little moment of magic. It might be a mistake. It might be a foul that gives a free kick. There's little things, the small things in a big blockbuster encounter like that in a semi-final. I mean, it can go your way or it might go against you. But the fact is that, it's going to be off the charts. We are expecting fireworks for sure.
For sure. Robbie, just very quickly, score predictions.
That's a tricky one, that is. I think Argentina against England, that will probably go to extra time.
Yeah.
I think Argentina might nab it with another winner like they have done in the quarterfinals, and I think France will beat Spain in normal time. It'll probably be 2-1. There you go. There's your final.
All right, Robbie, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time today.